Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my entire pothos collection. I love pothos. They are my favorite genus of plant, and I have felt that way from the beginning of my plant collecting journey, and I still feel that way now. And so I want to share with you all the different varieties that I've been able to collect. I will show you some of the multiples that I have, but for the most part I'll just show you one from each different variety that I have. I'll start off with the smaller ones, and I'm going to start off with the Epipremnum skeleton key. This is a cutting that I purchased. I have not been able to find this plant in store, but I found this from a private seller. They sold me a clipping of their plant, and that is an immature leaf, and then over here you have a mature leaf. Isn't that beautiful? The seller that I purchased it from, he kind of collects quirky looking plants that look a little bit weird to him, and this was one of the plants that he was able to collect, and he shared a cutting with me, and so I purchased this from him. This is such a pretty plant. I know that when you stake these up, they will definitely, you'll get larger mature leaves, but I'm perfectly okay with this just kind of doing whatever it wants to do, just hanging down. I like for my plants to just be free so I can see them waving around. Next, I have my Shangri-La Pothos. I purchased this from the very same private seller, and this is such a beautiful plant. Ooh, does this need to be watered? No, it's okay. The top is dry, but it is not dry. This is such a beautiful plant, and again, he likes the quirky, strange looking plants, and this definitely qualifies. If you look at it, it just looks like kind of withered spinach. A lot of people feel that they don't like it because it grows slowly and it looks like withered spinach, but I absolutely love this thing. It just looks so very different. It's a very unique plant in my collection, and I have it in this little container. This is one of my favorite candles from Bath and Body Works, and I put it in here. It fits so perfectly, and I really like just the way this looks. It almost looks like flames. Maybe that's why I like it in this container so much. But this is my Shangri-La Pothos. Next, I will show you my Manjula Pothos. I believe I shared this cutting with you with one of my previous videos on sharing with you some of my favorite pothos in my collection. This is from the mama plant. This is my beautiful Manjula. She's getting so big. It's amazing. I moved her after I did that last video on where I shared this plant. I moved her downstairs to my closet or my beauty room, and she's been living down there, and for some reason living down there she's growing kind of horizontally. You see how it's just squirting out, whereas before it was just going up. But the light that it receives is from behind as well as underneath it, because I have my vanity lights underneath it. It's sitting in the window above my vanity, and I really like the way that this is looking. Since it is in my closet, it does have a pink outfit, and this is the outfit that it wears. Look how beautiful it looks in that beautiful pink container. I love that. That is so pretty. I really like the way that looks. And so it's just been sitting there right above my vanity lights, and it really likes it, obviously. I am going to show you an update on my mama plant from this. Okay, so here is my mommy plant, and she's just grown so much since the last time I shared her with you. She was already had this long trail, but I think since I showed her to you, all of this right here grew in, and that makes her significantly longer, and the top of her has bushed out a whole lot. Isn't she beautiful? This is my favorite pothos plant. Oh, she's so beautiful. I said it before, I can say it again. I would love to have this as jewelry. She is so beautiful. Look at her detailing. So she is such a beautiful plant. I love that Manjula so much. Okay, I am going to go on to the next plants that I have. I have two of them hanging here. These are my neon pothos. These two right here I shared with you in a video that I did where I styled my front hallway, and since I put it in this corner, which I was a little bit nervous because They are not getting as much light as my other plants, but the neon pothos seem to thrive when they have lower light. And they're not growing with very like far in between nodes, but they are growing really, really well. I'm not going to move these because I just watered them this morning, and so they'll be dripping everywhere. But I do have a couple in front of me. This is a plant that I shared with you when I shared with you some of my favorite pothos plants, and she is so beautiful. I love her outfit. I love this plant when it wears pink. The pink that this plant wears is perfect. I think this pink and green combination is absolutely dreamy, and I just love that. I love that so much. And then here is my largest neon pothos, and she is really big. And as much as I knew that she was really big, I had to go through her this morning when I was watering her and pull out all of her vines. If you want your vines to trail, you have to go through every once in a while and straighten out the vines, because they'll kind of curl back up into the pot if you don't do that. So I had a whole bunch of these trails that were all curled up, and they were just up here bunched up. And that is good if you want it to stay looking really bushy at the top. But this one is pretty bushy, so I don't have to leave it that way. But this is another beauty. This is my largest neon. I believe so. The one in my waterfall arrangement may be longer, but this one right here has the largest leaves. This is one of my marble queens. This is one of the original marble queens that I purchased, the mama plant. This one has lots of reverted leaves, and it has lots of beautiful marbled leaves, and I love them together. I think they were so beautiful. This was in my dining room plant tour. This was sitting on the desk in there. Isn't she pretty? Look at that. And she's wearing a pink outfit because originally she was supposed to be in my closet, but she ended up coming out of there, and she lives in my dining room. But I did leave her in her pink outfit because, again, I love pink and green together. I have my Snow Queen pothos. And again, this is another one that was in my top 5, I believe, pothos plants. And here she is. She's even longer than she was before. And she is quite beautiful. It takes a lot to keep up with this beauty. Isn't that what it is? She's beautiful. So here's my Snow Queen pothos. So next I have my Cebu Blue. And she's beautiful. Look how pretty she is. She's in a terracotta pot, and she's really heavy. Look how gorgeous that plant is. I'm really excited about her. I just watered her yesterday. So she's nice and stiff. You hear her leaves? And I see a yellow leaf. Where are you? Dropped up. She's nice and stiff. I love that sound, the rustling leaves. But this is my Cebu Blue. She is definitely one that gets very thirsty as well. She is not a plant that likes to be without her water, but she definitely does not like to be soggy in her soil, but she is more prone to drooping and losing a lot of leaves if you don't water her when she wants to be watered. So she's definitely one I have to watch, but she's fabulous. The next 2 plants are from my waterfall arrangement in my plant window, and we're going to start off with this Jessenia. I never know if the leaves are yellow or if they are just getting the variegation. She has no variegation that I don't think she does anyway. This leaf is lighter, but I'm not sure if it's variegated or not, or if it's going to come off soon. As much as every once in a while she comes in with lighter leaves. Like this one has a little bit more variegation, but then it just darkens out. I don't know if it's because it's getting too much sun, kind of like with my global green. It sits in a south-facing window, and so it doesn't have a lot of variegation. But it's huge, and I love it. But this is my Jessenia. This right here was all cuttings that were shared with me. It was just a few pieces just in the pot, and now it's really big. It's grown so much. She's so pretty. Look how beautiful that leaf is. These leaves seem to be a little bit thicker than the others, maybe thick like the jade pothos. Maybe it's because they're all green. So that's my Jessenia Pothos, but again, it has no variegation, but she's still a Jessenia. I have, again, another plant from my waterfall. I just recently put this in my waterfall, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and this is my Baltic blue, and she actually lives in moss, and I'm looking at her roots right now. They are really long. But this is my Baltic blue pothos. She adds so much texture and beauty to my waterfall arrangement. I have to do an updated look of my waterfall. It's so pretty. The plants are all cascading really, really nicely and long. Look how beautiful that is. Before I put her in the moss, she was doing well, but she just wasn't thriving. I put her in the moss because she was always thirsty, all the time. She's always thirsty. And I put her in the moss, and that changed everything. Here you have it. She is so pretty. You can find these all over in the big box stores now. They're really pretty. The Lowe's near me had a whole bunch of them on the clearance rack. Awesome find. Next, I have my jade pothos, and this sits in my south-facing plant window. This plant is extremely long. I can't even show you the bottom. Let me try to turn it to the side so you can see just how long it is. Isn't she beautiful? This is my plant that I keep cut to a certain length so that it keeps the beautiful fullness that it has. I love this plant. I think she is getting a little bit too much sun. She has some leaves that look like they're being overly exposed to sun, but I mean, how can I complain about this baby? She is so pretty. She is also quite heavy. But this is my jade pothos, and she has been with me, I can't even remember. I think it's been about a year that she has been with me. Yay. Next, I have my golden pothos. This is a very special plant to me because this was my very first pothos plant. This was actually something that I inherited from someone in my husband's family, and I didn't know how to care for her at all, and she started to die after a while, and it turns out that she was not really in soil. She was so very pot bound that there was no soil in her pot, and so she just started losing leaves and losing leaves, and I would like trim it back and propagate the leaves, and the propagations were fine, but the plant itself was not doing well. And so finally I took it out of the pot, and this again was when I started with my plant collection. And so I took it out of the pot, and I saw that there was really no soil in the pot. And so what I did was I took all of the really long vines that had nothing on them, and I twirled it around in the pot, and I just let it regrow that way. Because she was so bare. She had maybe 2 leaves sticking up on top, and then just long bare vines. And I didn't want to give up on her. And so I just twirled them around in the pot, and now she's doing really well. 2 more plants, but I will have to bring you to them. I cannot take them down because they are my 2 really long plants that I shared in my watering my 8-foot pothos plants. Those 2 plants I cannot take from where they are. I already feel like I've been running a marathon, but I have my Hawaiian pothos that I have in my plant window, and then in my bedroom I moved my global green, my huge global green. So I'm going to show you those 2 plants, and then we'll be all done. Look how beautiful she is. This is my beautiful Hawaiian pothos. She is so beautiful. I said someday I would stake her up so she can get her really big, beautiful leaves, but I just love her trailing so much. So I think I'll leave her. But she is beautiful. So I just have one more plant to show you. Here is my global green. And as I mentioned, she does not have very much variegation because this is a south-facing window. This is a lot less light than she's used to getting, but it is still a south-facing window. She is well over 9 feet now. Look how beautiful she is. How beautiful she is. I decided just to trail her around. Some of her trails are going up and down and then trailed around the top. Look how pretty. I love this plant so much. So these are all of my pothos plant babies. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really was excited about making this video because I know how much I love talking about my pothos plants. So please let me know what your favorite genus of plant is. Please put it in the comment box below, and I look forward to talking to you again in another video. Bye guys.